On this episode of China Uncensored, Hollywood's biased against Asians. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Don't you think it's a bit jarring when a Caucasian is cast in the role of an Asian character in a movie? And yet it happens all the time, and most people aren't even aware. I mean, how would you feel if an Asian actor took the role of a Caucasian? Don't you think it'd be a bit weird?
Yes, I do. Alright, so Hollywood has made some, shall we say, interesting decisions when it comes to portraying Asians in movies. Granted, things have gotten better from the days of Peter Sellers playing Fu Manchu and Mickey Rooney playing Mr. Yunioshi in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Yes, that's a thing that happened. Asian actors and actresses are grossly underrepresented in movies, usually limited to supporting characters or extras. I'm sure you all remember Lee Clark-yong, the much-beloved Star Wars character and only Asian guy to appear in any of the Star Wars movies. So the one Asian guy in Star Wars crashes. By the way, I'm pretty proud I knew his name. But it's not just underrepresentation. They're actually giving away roles that should go to Asians to white people. It's called whitewashing. Apparently there's some belief in Hollywood that Asian leads just won't be understood by the American public. For example, the movie 21. It's about a group of MIT students led by John Chang and focusing on player Jeff Ma, who used card counting to win a fortune at blackjack. Card counting involves assigning a positive, negative, or zero value to each card value available. As cards are dealt, the count is changed based on their values, so high cards decrease the count and increase the percentage of low cards in the stack. Oh, I'm sorry, was that confusing? Okay, let me make it simpler. A group of MIT students led by Mickey Rosa, played by Kevin Spacey, and Ben Campbell, played by Jim Sturgis, use card counting to win at blackjack. Much simpler. I mean, that's crazy. That was a real story based on real people, and they just said, we don't want to cast Asians, just make them white. I mean, you might as well have a white guy play Genghis Khan.
They shall die the slow death.
What? Then there was the debacle of M. Night Shyamalan's take on Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was not only very, very terrible, but also all the characters in this distinctly Asian-influenced world were white, except the bad guys. Then there's Extraordinary Measures, Speed Racer, Dragon Ball Evolution, the upcoming movie based on the hit Japanese manga All You Need Is Kill, renamed Edge of Tomorrow and starring Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, and even rumors that an upcoming live-action version of Akira, considered to be the pinnacle of Japanese animation, will have an all-white cast. And by no means is this limited to movies. Television is also a culprit, like Joss Whedon's Firefly. An amazing show in my opinion, but don't you think it's weird that in a distinctly Chinese-influenced setting, they decide they want to use the trappings of the culture, people kind of dress Asian sometimes and they're Asian-looking things, or even atrociously pronounced Chinese, but no Asian people. Actually, I believe there was an Asian prostitute in one shot somewhere. According to the movie database IMDb, only 1.8% of leading roles go to Asians. A little ironic since about 60% of the world's population is Asian. I mean, about a sixth are Chinese people living just in China. Oh my God. That means I'm a minority. Which brings me to my next point. As a member of the white minority, I know how hard it is to be judged based on your race. And that's why, on this very serious topic of racial discrimination, Hollywood is dealing with this difficult subject. It's not just rewriting Asian roles to be white. These newly rewritten white characters then have to overcome the discrimination they face for being white. Keanu Reeves will be starring in the upcoming movie 47 Ronin, a movie based on the historical account of 47 samurai who avenged the murder of their master. Now, obviously there were no white samurai, well, except that one time. But rather than cast an Asian guy as the lead of a movie, they created a brand new character for Keanu Reeves to play, Kai, the half-Japanese, half-British, half-breed outcast who joins the group. His character is discriminated against for being white. It's not really clear if there are now 48 Ronin or they got rid of one so they could fit in Keanu Reeves, but they did the same thing with the movie King of Fighters, rewriting a Japanese character as half-white and then having to deal with racial discrimination for being half-white. I mean, do you know what it feels like to not fit in just because of the color of your skin? To be discriminated against for just being yourself? It's so nice Hollywood is able to use its horrendous racial discrimination to tell the story of racial discrimination against whites. And of course, we have to throw a bunch of Oscars at movies like The Departed, a near shot-for-shot remake of Infernal Affairs, and keep your eye out for Oldboy, the Spike Lee remake of the Korean Bloody Revenge movie, now starring Josh Brolin. Even when movies try to be more globally minded, like Pacific Rim, a movie about the world pooling its resources to build giant robots to fight giant monsters in an epic battle in Hong Kong, co-starring a strong Japanese female lead, the Chinese guys are still killed in the first moments of the first fight, leaving the white guy to save the day. And the Japanese girl fall for him, a la Pocahontas, Avatar, Dancing with Wolves, The Last Samurai, Ferngully. Well, let's just say it happens a lot. But for now, it seems like Asians are stuck being extras in their own country, as in Come See the Paradise, 7 Years in Tibet, The Lost Empire, The Last Samurai, Tokyo Drift, The Grudge. Well, let's just say it happens a lot. So what do you guys think of Hollywood's bias against Asians? Would you watch a movie with a cast Asian lead? Kung Fu movies don't count. Leave your comments below and be sure to check out the Facebook and Twitter page. And as always, check back again tomorrow for another new episode of China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching.